So your teenage child has been diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, short for FND, and of course, as a dedicated parent, you want to help, but you're not quite sure how to help. And as a result, you are feeling desperate and devastated because you are witnessing your child's lifestyle and almost personality changing significantly to the point that you're really having a hard time believing this is your child. So the question is, can you believe and can you trust your child? Let's dive in. Hi, my name is Dr. Lee. I'm a pediatric health psychologist and teen FND specialist. Today's video is about parents, can you trust your teen who is struggling with FND? So what is FND? For the one last time, and probably and again, but FND is an umbrella term to describe these cross-wired problems between the brain and the body when your teen's brain and the body are structurally and physically quote-unquote fine. It is a real diagnosis. It's actually a pretty common diagnosis you would get in neurology clinic, but you had no idea, I bet you, what FND was to begin with until your child was diagnosed with FND itself. And it is not just one thing that is causing the problem. It is a biopsychosocial phenomenon. It is biological, it is psychological, and it is social. It's not one or the other. It is all. I don't care what your child's symptoms are. It is 100% always biopsychosocial phenomenon. As long as your child's head is attached to your child's body, then it is, yes, biopsychosocial phenomenon. So anyway, I want to share this story. I hear this story actually a lot from so many parents, like your child is not going to school, staying in bed and not listening to you or doing chores, but somehow they can hang out with friends, or if not, stay in bed all day and using a screen. And if you ask your child to do anything, your child would say, oh, but my head hurts. Oh, but my symptoms. I'm so afraid. I'm too tired. I can't even think straight. Or get super antsy and emotional, almost to the point of temper tantrum. Why can't you understand that I'm having a hard time with this condition? You don't even know what I'm going through. Yada, 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 yada. And so as a parent, you worry about your teen, but you don't really know how to push because of all these things. And you feel bad for your child who is obviously struggling. So you don't really want to be hard on themselves. In consequence, what happens is you take on this duty of taking care of your child probably more so than you can or you should. And deep down, if you ask yourself, can you actually truly trust your child to take care of her own body while your child is struggling with FND? Your answer might be, oh yeah, I trust my child 100%, or no, I don't trust my child because none of us know exactly what's going on with FND. Or you might be in somewhere in between. You might be thinking, running through all kinds of scenarios, and then you might want to say to yourself, I want to trust my child, but I'm not sure because of all these little details and different reasons. So let me tell you why parents have difficulty trusting their own child who's struggling with FND. Well, there are several. Number one, you are seeing inconsistent symptoms, mood, and behaviors of your teenage child, with or without FND. So you might be puzzled. Well, is it part of FND or is it actually my child being just a teenager? I'm not quite sure. So that is what you're thinking. You're seeing inconsistent symptoms, behaviors, and mood. And number two, parents, your expectations are not quite matching with the teen's claim about her capability under the umbrella of FND. So the example would be, you are hoping and then you are expecting, well, my child likes going to school, so she should be able to go to school, right? That's what you're thinking. But your child would be going to school only to just text you right after she gets there and say, oh, my head hurts. I don't feel good. Oh, I had an episode. Come get me, right? So you're like, what? I thought she was just doing fine over the weekend on Sunday when we were having a great time. kind of thing. So it's very confusing. And that's why it's similar to seeing inconsistent symptoms, but your expectations are not quite matching with what you think that your child's capable of and actually what the teen is claiming or telling you what they or they cannot do. So deep down, parents, you are actually wearing this fixer hat and wants to take on the labor of the fixing the problem for your child because that's what you're used to and that's what you think you should be doing. There's nothing wrong with that, but here's the consequence. If you do that, if you're wearing the fixer hat consistently, then it becomes about you who's playing this good parent, and it becomes all about reducing your anxiety in that moment about your fear of maybe you cannot help your child. So you've got this deep down fear of inability to help your child. Therefore, you are insisting to keep wearing a fixer hat and then trying to figure out what you can do to fix the problem for your child. So what's happening is the role of who is in charge gets really wonky and then mixed up. So while you are wanting to fix or help your child to get better, your child doesn't really know what to do. Therefore, you are taking on more and more labor. And so your child is actually not able to learn how to fix the problem on her own. And you continue to get frustrated because you can't help. And then your child feels more victim kind of mentality. And then you are playing more a rescuer mindset mentality. And because of your rescuer mindset mentality, your child continues to perpetuate this victim mindset mentality because they go hand in hand. As a consequence, it goes back to this whole idea of parents are having hard time trusting. You might want to say consciously, you want to trust your child. However, subconsciously, you're not really sure if you can actually let go of your own fear and trust your child 100% no matter what. You see the vicious cycle. It happens that there's a problem that your child has and your child doesn't know how to do to fix the problem. Neither do you. But as a parent, you feel like you're innately needing to wear this fixer hat who is trying to fix the problem for your child. And then you become rescuer, and that means that your child is continuously wearing this victim mentality mindset hat. And so you just keep wearing the hat without going anywhere. Hence, it is a recipe for the endless treadmill cycle of FND. So what can you actually do? Well, there's a way to get out of it, but you have to commit to it. But I'm going to tell you what. Number one, making sure the FND diagnosis is actually correct. Your child might be having something else other than FND, but as soon as your child gets the diagnosis of FND, accept the diagnosis and educate yourself what FND is, because there's a lot to learn about it and it is constantly changing depending on who you ask. So make sure that you educate yourself as much as possible and become really familiar with what FND is and what FND is not. Number two, this is more important. Ask yourself as a parent, are you fully committed to trusting your child no matter what? Even though you don't know how just yet. Either how to let go of your fear or how to trust your child, or your child learning how she can fix the problem of FND. Well, there's a way, but even though you don't know how, are you at least willing to commit to take action of trusting your child no matter what? Because after all, it is really about who you need to get the help from, not how to figure this out on your own. So I can think of a great example. Well, speaking of great, a great athlete that you can think of on the planet, live or dead, always had a great coach or the team. So if you think about it, none of them cannot get to where they were or where they are without having the who can lead that person to be the great athlete. So same thing with your teen FND, which leads to the next point of you've got to find an FND specialist to work with. So same thing. If you want your child to fix this and if you do really care about your child's I mean, health and well being in general, but more importantly, your teen's future, your child's future. Literally, if that is super important for you, then find an FND specialist, no matter what it takes. Because spending the time and energy on the right approach will go a long way instead of continue to waste your precious time on this DIY project when it comes to teen FND. It's almost like you're trying to build a house without knowing how to do it, but you're insisting that you should be able to figure it out. No, you can't. You need who? You need the right approach. You need a team to work with. So speaking of the team, I have a free Facebook private group where you can talk to me and other like-minded parents like yourself privately, and it is completely free. You can join the group by clicking the link below. Speaking of clicking the link below, there is also a way for me to schedule a call to talk to me for a free consultation. If you are serious enough to want to take action for your teen's FND towards a resolution, because yes, it is possible. So this is part of the who that you can work with. Feel free to click the link below and schedule a call to talk to me. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.